Guten Morgen, ich heiße Mark Robinson. Ich bin dein Professor für diese Klasse. Der Name dieser Klasse ist der Aufstiegsanfall der Dritten Richter der Nazi-Deutschland. This is how I would like to begin my first class as a history professor. My name is Mark Robinson, and I'm a third-year student here at UNCG, majoring in history. My plan is to become a history professor and hopefully one day teach classes about World War II and Nazi Germany and its role in the war. I believe that to truly teach history, a professor must make an impact on his or her students. Three things will determine this: the professor's teaching style, how well they reach the students, and whether they leave an impact on their students. The most important part of being a successful teacher and achieving these three things is developing a proper teaching style, a style that fits your level and is compatible with your audience. Knowing how to present material to your audience will be the difference between success and failure. You must realize that you have to tailor your style to fit your audience because all students are not the same. However, certain things will always remain the same. Clear instructions are a must. Open lines of communications are also very key to success in the classroom. And rules, of course, go hand in hand with both of these. No classroom can operate without clear, precise, and fair rules. All three of these things are essential to a professor's success in the classroom. Now, within your teaching style, you must do things to reach your students. In history, I believe the best way to do this is by putting a human face on your subject. Don't just speak of the what was done. Speak about why it was done. Bring the subject to life by pointing out the human aspect of the events that you're teaching about. Include students in the teaching by asking them what they would have done had they been in the situations they're learning about. Make parallels between the students and the people they're learning about. Ask them, showing them how they're similar to those people will give them a good insight on what they may have done and why the people that were in the situations did what they did. It will also help students see how one day they may be able to shape history themselves. Now, when you have this well-developed teaching style that reaches your students, it should be very easy for you to make an impact on those students and leave a lasting impression. One thing that you can do to enhance this, I believe, is by using, what we would call non-traditional teaching aids. I remember one professor in particular who used old toys to show us how militaristic Germany had become before World War I. Some of these toys were very strange to these younger students, and even to me, who was much older than them. I had never seen such toys. They were what we would call very violent toys. But it did drive home the point of his point of how militaristic Germany had become, and it did make a lasting impression on all the students because we were, quite frankly, very shocked. We'd never seen these. Some of us had never seen these things before. So doing those type of things and using those non-traditional teaching aids will help leave that lasting impression that you want to leave on your students. Another thing that makes a lasting impression also is teaching or encouraging the students to truly think for themselves. Just don't give them the answers. Encourage the students to think for themselves and leave them with a sense of accomplishment and leave them with what should be a lifelong learning, a love of learning and a quest for knowledge. I believe that those things are essential for reaching your students. History is very important in that aspect. If you do not reach your students and you don't make that impact, I feel like your success as a history professor, or quite frankly any professor, is greatly diminished. The three things that I've discussed, the teaching style, reaching your students, and making an impression with your students and leaving them with that impression, will lead to success in teaching. It will build confidence in your abilities and build a desire for knowledge in your students. Success in the classroom is indeed built on these three principles. Thank you.